Margot mini dress. Last week I released the Margot Maxi Dress and you guys went crazy for it. I have never had such a big reaction for a sewing pattern before, and I'm literally just so incredibly grateful for everyone who purchased or said they're going to purchase or is just so excited about the Margot Maxi Dress sewing pattern. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to see your Margot Maxis, but for today's video we're going to be making the Margot mini dress. So last week I released the maxi dress tutorial as well as the sewing pattern and everything. I did include the mini dress version in there, but I have gone back and added in a couple of extra centimeters to the hem just so it's a little bit longer for you guys, as well as also adding in that line just on the above the bottom of the hem so that you know where to fold up for your lining. So if you do have the pattern already, I would suggest to go back and re-download it just so you get that little bit of extra length in the hem as well as that line so that you know where to cut. So the Margot Maxi Dress is a little bit different from the mini dress version. When I brought out the maxi dress in May of 2024, I did it with the scoop neck and then the tie back features, but I did have a lot of girls asking me if I would do something that had a little bit more coverage and something that I could wear a bra with. And so when I released the mini dress, I think it was in September of the same year, I decided to do a little boat neck feature as well as a zip back. And then the front is just a nice boat neck sort of style. So you do get a lot of coverage with this one and you can wear a bra with it. Normally I say to size up if you're going to wear a bra with it, but if you find that you get a little bit of gaping in the front here because of that boat neckline, then I'd suggest to just stick to your regular sizing or even size down. This pattern does include sewing a zipper, so if you're not comfortable with sewing zippers or you just don't like sewing zippers, then you can actually swap the back out and do the tie back feature because the front will still work with that pattern as well. So these patterns are really interchangeable and really good. If you want to do a scoop neckline with the zip back, then you can do that, or if you want to do the boat neckline with the tie back features, you can do that in a maxi or a mini, and even you can take up the hem on the maxi and turn it into a midi if you'd like to as well. I feel like that would be really beautiful. Anyway, I'm not going to keep you for too much longer. I think we should jump straight into the tutorial. First, cut out your mini dress pattern and remember to use the updated version to include that line down the bottom for the lining. For this tutorial, we'll be using the back piece that is labelled for the zip back, but again, you can use the tie back feature if you prefer. Just refer to the maxi dress tutorial on how to sew it. I'm using this mid-weighted linen for the outer fabric and a cotton broadcloth for the lining. Place your pattern pieces down and cut out your patterns by following the guides on the paper pattern, and remember to mark your notches. When you need to cut the lining, fold up along that bottom black line on the dress pieces and then you can cut your lining out. For this dress, you'll need an open back zipper. I've left the zipper lengths in the instructions booklet, but if you're using a specific coloured fabric and you can't find a matching zipper, you can use one that is slightly longer than the required one, which is what I'm doing today. You can also get different styles of zippers, like invisible ones or with the zips exposed, so keep that in mind when sewing, as you might need to have a little extra fabric at the back. If your zips have the metal stoppers at the end and you're using a longer zipper, you can use pliers to remove them after you've sewn your zip into place, but you won't be able to do that with the plastic ones, so I'll show you in this tutorial what you can do instead. First, we'll sew our princess seams. Take your front panel piece and your side panel pieces of your outer fabrics, and you'll need to find the point of the shoulder strap. Align the top point of the side panel and pin down this length with the good sides of the fabric facing and the curved edges aligning.
then repeat for the other side. Then we'll sew a straight stitch with a 1 cm seam allowance starting from that top point down to the hem. You'll need to maneuver the fabric around as you sew as well. And then once you've finished one side, repeat for the other. We'll then do the exact same thing for the lining. Find that point in the shoulder strap and align with the point of the side panel. Pin along the edge with the good sides facing. And then sew down this edge. Next we'll do the back skirt panel. Place the outer layer down and then place the lining fabric on top with the good sides facing. Pin along the top curved edge and then take this to your machine and sew a straight stitch from one end to the other with a 1 cm seam allowance. You can then go and overlock both the front princess seams we've sewn and also that back piece. If you don't have an overlocker, you can just do a zigzag stitch or an overcasting stitch. This is optional, but I find that it makes your seams more sturdy. Overlock or zigzag stitch that straight edge where the zipper goes on that top back panel for both the outer fabric and the lining fabric. You'll need to swap over to a zipper foot now, so make sure that you have one of those. Now take the zipper and align it to the overlocked edge of the outer fabric with the good sides facing. The zipper head should be against the good side of the fabric. You'll need to leave a 1 cm gap for seam allowance at the bottom of the zipper and back panel, as this will help when we flip it over. If you're using a zipper that is longer than the required ones like I am, just have the zipper closed and the head pulled up to the top and out of the way. If you're using one that is the length that is required, you should just have that small extra bit of fabric kind of sticking up at the top there. We'll start by sewing a straight stitch from the very top down to the end where the opening will be. Once you get down to the starter box, you may need to stop sewing, lift your presser foot, and then move your needle over slightly so that you can sew right down next to and past that starter box. Just remember to be careful here that your presser foot and your needle doesn't catch on that box as well. If you had a little bit of a gap at the top, just open up the zip and then continue to sew to secure the rest of the zip to the back panel piece. Then you can take the other outer fabric and align the other side of the zipper by aligning the back pieces, opening up the zipper and placing the other zipper piece down, aligning the fabric of the zip with the overlocked edge. Switch your presser foot over to the other side and then sew a straight stitch down this edge to hold the zip in place. When you get close to where the zipper is, you'll need to stop sewing, move the zipper up and past where we've sewn, and then you can place your presser foot back down and continue to sew until you have just come past the end of the zipper or where that starter box is. Now we'll do the same method for the lining, except we're pretty much just sandwiching the zipper between the outer layer and the lining. So place the lining on top with the good sides of the fabrics facing and then pin along the edges of the zipper. Make sure your fabric is nice and flat here too. Then sew your zipper on either side, starting from right at the very top all the way down to where the zipper head is. Move it to the side and then sew past that starter box. For the other side, you'll need to stop sewing before you reach the zipper, so lift your presser foot, move the zipper to the side, then place your fabric back and continue to sew until you get past the starter box. Once you've done that, you can test your zip to make sure it works smoothly, and then you can give this a press with your iron. While we're here, we can also iron the princess seams of the front piece of the dress so that they're nice and flat. And also fold over the back skirt and lining to the right way out and press the seam flat. Going back to the top back pieces, we'll now finish the top and bottom edges. Keep your back pieces separated and then open and flip over the linings so that the good sides of the fabric are facing again and the zipper is sandwiched between. Pin along the top neck curve and the bottom curve, and then when we sew the top neck curve, we're going to sew over those zipper teeth. If you're using a zipper that is the same as what is in the requirements, then you will just be sewing over that fabric part instead. But if you have a longer zipper like me, then you'll be sewing over the zipper teeth. So just make sure you're being careful when you're doing this. And for the bottom, we'll be sewing from just underneath that starter box. So that was why you've left that 1 centimeter of seam allowance there. Begin to sew your neck curve by starting on the fabric part of the zipper and sew over the zipper teeth. This is still with that 1 centimeter seam allowance as well, and then sew right up to the edge where the shoulder is. Then you can go ahead and sew that bottom curved starting from where the zipper starter is and then all the way down to that bottom edge point. And then you just repeat this for the other side. Cut off that excess of the zipper, and if you have a zipper with metal teeth like I have, keep those, and then you can use pliers to remove the teeth and add them back to the zipper where you need the stoppers at the top. If you have plastic ones, I'll show you what you can do instead to make sure that the zip doesn't come off when you close your dress. But first we'll just overlock those edges where we've sewn, or you can zigzag stitch them instead. This is optional, but it does just make your seams a little bit stronger. Remember to start your overlocker just past where the zipper is because you don't want your needles to break going over them. At that corner of the straight edge where the zipper is, you can cut diagonally across the top and bottom by about 0.5 centimeters. This just helps to make it nice and pointy when you flip it the other way around. Now you can flip your pieces over the right way out and press with your iron. Then we can sew a top stitch next to the zipper teeth to help keep the fabric to the side and stop it from catching on the teeth. This is optional, but it does help to stop that from happening. So sew a straight stitch right next to the edge of the fabric as close to the seam edge as possible. And this is what that should look like as well. You might have a little bit of a gap at the top and the bottom, just where the zipper ends and the starter box ends as well. Before we move along, I'll show you how to make a stopper if you're using a zipper that has plastic stops that you can't remove. Simply get a needle and the matching thread and find where the zipper will stop at the top neckline when closed. Then you can begin to hand sew around here by going through the fabric and then over the teeth, then back around a few times, and then finish it off by threading the thread through itself twice. And then you can tie a knot if you'd like, or just cut off the excess, and then this will help to stop the zipper from coming off if you don't have those stoppers there. We'll change our presser foot back to the regular one now. And then we'll place the outer layer of the front piece down and then the lining of the front piece on top with the good sides facing. Pin along that top neck curve from shoulder to shoulder, and then we can sew a straight stitch from one end to the other, followed by overlocking or zigzag stitching. Then we can do a safety stitch to hold the overlocked seam to the lining. Find that top point on the shoulder, and parallel to this is where we'll start sewing from on that overlocked piece of the seam. Press that seam to the side with the lining and start sewing from that point all the way down until you are in line with the point on the opposite side. This is what it should look like when you're done, and it is optional, but it does help to hold that lining down a little bit better. Flip the dress the right way out and press with your iron. Next, attach the shoulders by aligning the shoulder seams with the good sides of the outer fabric facing and the good sides of the lining fabric facing. Pin along the edge and remember to move the middle seam to one side for ease with sewing. Do the same for the other shoulder, and then you can sew a straight stitch along this top edge for both, followed by overlocking or zigzag stitching. Then flip the dress the right way out and iron the shoulder seams flat by pressing the overlocked edges on the inside to one side. Now we'll close up that armhole. At the shoulder seam, you'll need to flip over the fabric so that the good sides of the lining and the outer fabric are facing, and pin at that seam. Then continue to flip the fabric over so that the good sides are facing again, and pin along the armhole curve from the back around to the front. Then repeat this for the other side. Once you've pinned, we'll sew in place with a straight stitch. Make sure you're pushing the other seams all to the one side as it helps it to sit flat. After you've done that, you can then overlock those edges. Now we can take a loop turner or a safety pin, and from the front side armhole, we'll thread it through the shoulder, attach the loop turner to the back, and then pull the back panel piece through the shoulder strap to the right side out. Once you've flipped them out, you can then iron them flat. We need to create a channel for the elastic on the back to go through. To do this, place your back skirt piece down and make sure your fabric is flat. And then you can pin along that top edge to hold the lining to the outer fabric. If you'd like, you can draw a line 1.5 centimeters down with tailor's chalk from one end to the other on that top curve. Once you've pinned along there, you can then sew your straight stitch 1.5 centimeters down from that top curved edge to create your channel. Then take a safety pin and your elastic and thread it through the channel we just created. You can secure either end with a pin before you go and sew a straight stitch a couple of centimeters over the elastic to secure them at that opening. Now we'll attach the back of the skirt to the front piece. First, place the dress down with the outer fabric facing up and then find that notch on the side panel. Then find the top point on the back skirt and align the notch with the point and pin in place. You'll need to move the lining fabric to the side and only pin the outer fabric in place here, and then you'll just have to repeat this for the other side. When we sew, we'll start from that notch and sew just past the elastic by about 2 centimeters on the back skirt. Then you'll need to move the lining fabric to the side to be able to sew just the outer fabric all the way down to the end. Repeat this for the other side, and then here is what it should look like. Then you can overlock this by doing the exact same method. Now fold the shoulder straps over to have the back top panels good sides facing with the good side of the front piece facing. Align the side seams and the top armhole corner and pin each side into place. Then fold over the front piece lining so that the good side of the lining is facing the good side of the front piece, and pin along the edges, starting from the armhole corner, along the side of the back panel, over the elastic, and then when we get just past the elastic, we'll be pinning the lining fabric of the back skirt and the front dress together and not including that outer fabric. Repeat for the other side. Then we can sew the side seams starting from that top armhole corner all the way down to the elastic. Once we get about 2 centimeters just past the elastic of the back skirt, we'll then move the outer fabric this time to the side and then continue to sew down the lining only until we reach the hem. And then you can just repeat this for the other side. And then you can do the exact same method for when we are overlocking those seams. At the top of those side seams under the armholes, we can cut a 0.5 centimeter off of the fabric diagonally to help when we flip it out to sit it flat. Just make sure that you don't cut into your actual main seam stitch. Then you can flip the dress the right way out and give it a good press with your iron. Then for the hem, we'll overlock those bottom edges for both the outer layer and the lining. We'll be doing a double folded hem for this, but if you'd like, you can just do a regular hem. For the double folded hem, fold that overlocked edge up by 1 centimeter and iron it flat all the way around. Then fold it over again by 1 centimeter to hide all of that overlocked edge, and then repeat the same for the lining. If you have a removable arm on your sewing machine, remove it, as this will help you with sewing the hem. Place your fabric underneath, and then you can start sewing your hem as you regularly would, keeping your needle as close to the edge of the seam, and sew all the way around to create your hem. Then you can just repeat this for the lining. I didn't iron my lining hem up, I just decided to sew and fold as I go. And then once you're done, give it one final press, and congratulations, you've finished your Margot mini dress.
And that is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm so excited to see you create your very own Margot mini dresses or maxi dresses. If you do create your own, please be sure to tag me at sewing_in_May on Instagram or at inmay_the_label on TikTok. Thank you so much for your love and support on the Margot maxi dress and mini dress sewing pattern. I'm so excited to see you guys create your very own, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.